Classic is even entering Game 5. Will the remaining 3 games make this an instant classic for the series? In a straightforward week, the NFL environment remains confusing as ever. All of that and more right here on Coast Note.
Cue the intro. How's it going, man? Welcome back to another episode of Coast Knows Ball on the Coast to Coast podcast channel. Technically, still
Yes.
Anthony channel, but
I guess we can just allude to it here. It will be making a move soon, not quite yet, but be prepared for that. Geared up, just to make more sense for the channel to eventually move to its own home, and so that's what's going to be happening probably at the beginning of the year. But outside of general stuff like that, doing okay. Kind of a rough week sports wise in general, I'd say. We both entered last week with the identical picks with all those games in the NFL slate, and it felt very straightforward. But as is with any given Sunday, and we're not prophets or anything, we don't claim to be prophets, but a lot of really surprising games and a lot of blowouts too in some of those surprising upsets as well. So it was just a fascinating thing, and it's been so fascinating this season because I really only have an idea of the identity of like 3 teams in the NFL, and 2 of them are probably bad. You know what I mean? So it is so tough to temperature check a lot of these teams because you feel like, a team like the Bengals, okay, they trade for Joe Flacco, maybe not a needle mover, but then the next 2 games, they're cooking on offense. They got something going. They win in prime time against the Steelers team that only 1 loss at the time, and then they lose to the Jets this week, who got their first win on the season. So, and I brought up the exercise, I think that was last week with the Atlanta Falcons, just reciting their season and how crazy it's been. And yet another week for the Falcons where you just don't understand what the hell is going on with this team. And it really feels like that this season, for more so than past seasons, where we're halfway through basically, and
and
I still
nothing
have
is
no
certain.
idea. Yeah, like genuinely, I think like the top 16 or so teams, you could really rank in any order, and I could see an argument for it. And then vice versa with the bottom 16. Like you can rank them any order, and I could probably see an argument for it. It's so weird. It's a very bizarre NFL season. I'm all for the parody, frankly. I think parody is a lot of fun. Hopefully the playoffs act the same way, where we don't have the same teams making the Super Bowl or championship games, because so far the season has not disappointed in the parity aspect.
hmm Yeah, no, this game is or sorry, not this game, but this season has definitely just been a what the fuck, and it's kind of been this way for the last 2 to 3 years, where each year we keep saying, okay, this has to be the most injury prone season of all time, only for the next year to surpass it. We keep having these crazy seasons where teams are starting off the Saints with 80 points scored in the first 2 weeks of last week, and then completely being the worst team in football for the remainder of the season. The Jets getting a win this week in a game against a team that we thought for sure would beat them. Even though it is the Bengals, we still thought for sure they would beat them. And the way they won, too. Brees Hall on a rollout, throwing a fadeaway dime. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
Mhm. Right,
And
right.
so I'm with you on this. Like, we had the exact same picks last week, but we kind of knew going into it at least 5 or 6 were probably going to be wrong just based on the craziness of this season. It's
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
unfortunate that the Broncos game had to be one of them.
Right. And that's what I mean by when I say, I said it last week too, right? I initially said an easy week of pick'ems, but that's not really true. Then I changed the word to straightforward, because that's how it felt. It felt like, okay, the Falcons should beat the Dolphins. The Cowboys and Broncos, the one of the 50-50 games in both of our opinions. Um, the 49ers, though banged up, should beat the Texans, who have been bad this year. The
hmm
Colts should beat the Titans, and only one of those 4 things occurred, right? So just a very, very fascinating week overall. And yeah, I definitely think injuries are a huge Oh my God, the my fucking microphone has not been recording on the recording.
Oh,
Am more than happy to be wrong on Pick'ems if it gives us that kind of engagement again. Um, we got
fat.
seven and a half. I think it's now up to 7,500
Half
views
thousand
on the
views. Yeah.
Cowboys Broncos game. Now, of course, the unfortunate thing is no one's following. So, look, if you're listening to this right now and you're one of those people, please drop a follow. I know we're not going to be right on every prediction, but especially if you're a Broncos fan, you got to give me some credit. I picked you when it was the Eagles game, all right? So I deserve some credit there. You know, I was the lone wolf on this show, and I feel like that is worthy of a follow in itself. but,
I agree,
but
dude. You lone wolf the fucking Broncos after I called you stupid for picking the Broncos.
that is kind of an all-timer clip. I think it's a really funny one, just the way that it worked out
hmm
storytelling wise, and it's only a minute long clip, which is all the better, you know. But yeah, before
But
we
no,
move
so
on, go
baseball
ahead.
talk? Is that
Yeah,
what we're
that's
gonna
what I was going to
segue?
get into. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
The
of course the Otani game is the game where the Dodgers lose. I should have known that or the sports books would surpass MLB plot because I should have known that all the people who see Otani pitching were going to be betting on the Dodgers to win and tailing the Dodgers so heavily. And I should have known, oh, well, obviously, if everyone's betting on the Dodgers, they're probably not going to win because sports books, right? Uh, but I was just so like, this is such a normie bet. This is what people who have never bet would bet on, and it's gonna hit. Like this is the bet that your coworker shows you. Hey, I bet on the Dodgers tonight at -200. I think they're gonna win. And this guy has never watched baseball in his life, but he got his free bets on DraftKings, and he's gonna put them all on the Dodgers because he knows Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball, and he's pitching. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just follow the logic of knowing nothing about the sport, and it did not work out for me. So bet on the Dodgers last two games. Won the first time, second time it did not pan out.
You know, there is a bit of a point to that. I totally get where you're coming from there because but I think maybe part of it is that as avid sports fan and sports watcher, you have a tendency to overthink things as well. Like, man, I could see it both ways. Which way do I really think? And then it ends up being the way that you go with, but maybe not even the one that you're the most confident in at the same time. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it is fascinating that whole ideal thing about sports and how nebulous it becomes when you get into the casual versus avid fan.
Right. And then you do the thing where it's like, oh, well, this is so obviously going to hit that I'm going to bet for it not to hit because then the sports book would win, but I can tail that. And like you're trying to hedge that thing. And some people have been trying to do that. And my logic is you're just making dumb bets with the logic of, oh, well, nobody else is placing this bet, so DraftKings is probably
Mhm.
going to have it pay out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, the logic kind of sounds right, but it also sounds so inherently stupid at the same time.
Yeah, it's not like the Big Short here where we
Yeah,
are
you're not the Wolf of
identifying a
Wall
trend
Street,
in.
man.
Yeah. But that is pretty funny. Look, it maybe this is controversial to say for a lot of people, and I have put in like $5 over the last like 2 months in sports bets, but the world would be so much of a better place
If
if
it
it was
was
just
illegal.
gone.
If it was just illegal, man.
I mean, and think about the, and we've had this talk one on one before as well, but think about how like you would no longer have to deal with the referees are cheating allegations or the league is rigged allegations if sports betting was just gone again. Like you what other reason would a league have to rig their games if not to make a bunch of money through sports betting? Or you know what I mean? Like I think so many of the issues in the officiating and the fixing and all these conspiracies about the sports would go away if the sports betting it was just not there. And also for the mental health aspect as well. I mean, most bets do not hit. That is by design. That's the whole point of them, that the house will eventually win at
hmm
some point. And so Generally, and it's the same thing with gambling. It's the same thing with stocks or whatever. You get wrong a couple too many times and you lose a little bit too much money. And yeah, I mean, genuinely, there is a self-harm issue already in this country. Then you factor in stuff like sports betting, it becomes exacerbated further.
And the most advertised thing alongside sports betting is the sports gambling addiction hotline. Like it's literally in every single sports betting advertisement. They're like, "Hey, this is a problem. Get help from this is who you call to get help if you
It's
use our
the
product."
it's just like the beer advertisements. It's the exact same formula. Every other commercial is also a beer commercial. And I mean, I don't know if you knew this about alcohol, but it is a literal poison. When you drink
Yeah.
alcohol, you are poisoning your liver, and to get that feeling, that buzz, that drunken feeling. And it is fun, whatever, but it is literally a poison, and it is also a highly addictive substance. There are many, many alcoholics in the country, and yet here we are during our sports games that are like, you know, we practice sobriety, blah, 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 whatever. We practice good health, good hygiene. It's a sport.
Hmm.
You kind of need to have good health to perform well, generally speaking. And
Right.
here you are, right after that happens. Here's a beer commercial, Coors Light. Like,
Yeah, it really is an interesting scope of things when you look at athletics as a whole is the peak human performance, and it coincides with addiction on three separate levels. It is gambling, drugs, and alcohol. And I know alcohol is a drug, so I mean if you want to loop it in that way as well, you can. So if it's only two things if you do it that way. But
substance. Well,
but
there are other ones, of course, but continue.
but the like duality of it where you have on one end of the thing we are enjoying a product that takes peak human performance while also simultaneously pairing it with poor life choices. It's
Degeneracy, really. I mean,
yeah.
right. Yeah, it is very strange, and but that's where the money is. I mean, we have several MLB ballparks that are named after a beer or a beer company. So that's just how the world works. And
Hey,
look, we're not here to
don't ever
go ahead.
disrespect Coors Field. Coors Field will live on in infamy.
Yeah, and look, we're not here to disparage anyone who uses alcohol responsibly. I use alcohol responsibly. Jacob uses alcohol responsibly. It's a fun thing when used responsibly, but please do use responsibly. And it's the same thing with the gambling. Gamble responsibly. It's the same exact phrase minus one word. You're swapping the first word there.
It's an
And
oxymoron. You can't gamble responsibly because there's no such thing as a responsible gamble.
yeah, you could say that, and you could say the same thing about drinking, but I mean, yeah, sometimes all you need to hear though is like be reasonable now. Like maybe don't make that $500 parlay bet because it's not going to hit and it's going to ruin you. Anyway,
Right.
but yeah, so the World Series is
The
happening.
Blue Jays are currently winning
Uh,
3-1. Cameron is
yeah.
in all sorts of happiness because he bet on the Blue Jays.
Hey, look, yeah, I would be elated if the Blue Jays won as well. If you've been around the show for a while, you know I'm a Dodgers hater and I can't stand them. And it's gotten to the point where I have only watched two of the games of the World Series so far. And of course, I don't have the current game on right now. But man, if the Blue Jays won, that would be awesome. I think it'd be good for baseball to not, just not have a winner, the same winner every year. And dynasties can be fun, but a fun dynasty is fun when there's a good story. And for me, and again, maybe I just have the bias cap on, but I don't think the Dodgers are a good story.
No.
It's let me spend $700 million for Shohei Ohtani, who is worth the money. Don't get me wrong, he is absolutely worth the money. But then
Same guy
defer
who told his team to
90.
spend 700 million on Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. And they did. They offered him the same contract and he chose LA, which is also
As
my
any
point
as any
from
player should.
last week. Yes, which is exactly what my point was, I think, from last week as well, that like you can offer the same amount of money, but because you're not LA or New York, you're not going to win. Which is why it's just so asinine to punish the 24 teams that are spending meaningful dollars when like it just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, but then just for 90% of it, for 10 years after he plays for you, I think is just a despicable act. And it's not despicable just because it's the Dodgers or the Dodgers doing it. It's despicable because it's also allowed, which I think is just absolutely crazy. I mean, there are so many issues with the league in general, with its rules and stuff like that. TV blackouts are ridiculous. The whole umpire situation has always been ridiculous. So I mean, hopefully,
Get a
there's
load
a
of
turnaround.
umpires,
But
man.
I know, right? All umpires are bad. I'm telling you, they're all bad.
Put it on a
But
t-shirt.
yeah, this is why I really think that there will be a lockout in 2027, even if the Dodgers lose this World Series, which is part of the condition that I gave last week that it would occur, is because the Dodgers win. I don't even know
Hmm.
if it really takes them winning. They could also win next year, and that could also be the inciting incident. But I just think we're headed that way with how many problems league wide there are with the money, with the TV ratings, with all that kind of stuff.
I will say it has been nice, even in the day and age of large market domination. The New York Yankees have not won a World Series in over a decade,
Yeah. Yeah,
which is
that
such
is
an
that is a good point.
asinine measurement, by the way. The one single team's measurement of success is they haven't won a World Series in the last 10 years when there are 30 teams in the league.
Hmm. Yeah, and a handful of them have never won, by
Right.
the way. And one of them, the longest active drought, the Cleveland Guardians, formerly Indians, have not won since 1948, I think it is.
Yeah, and they got they were up 3-0 and lost in the World Series most recently.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to
Or
my division
three
rivals, baby.
3-1. They were up 3-1.
Oh,
3-1.
3-1, my
The
bad.
only the only 3-0 comeback reverse sweep ever, I think, in baseball history was 0-4 ALCS between the Yankees and
Using Red
Red
Sox.
Sox. Yeah.
That makes
I think
sense.
that's the only one.
Yeah, which the which the Yankees used as motivation when they were playing the Red Sox in the ALCS and down 0-3. Have you heard about that?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
shit is so funny, dude. Hey, here's our team losing the only 3-0 series in history. We should take the energy that they used to beat us and use it to beat them. Yeah, I'm seeing the vision here.
It would have been hilarious if it happened. That would have been something,
Yeah, if that actually
Like,
worked.
yeah, the only
Remember
two
that time our
series in
greatest
MLB
rivals beat
history.
us? Let's try and
Yeah.
not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but look, so far though, even despite my not lack of watching, rather, the
Hmm.
series has been like a pretty good one, I think. And anytime you get an 18 inning marathon like that, and it ends on a
Oh,
walk
dude,
off
it was
homer,
so fun.
yeah, that's always fun. And
Because there
so
was
I
like
mean, credit to
three
the.
hits by the Dodgers that were warning track. Like the guy was trotting out of the box, like three separate walk-off calls from the announcer, and they got caught three times. And then you
Mhm.
have the Freddie Freeman 430 dead center.
Yeah, I saw that Will Smith one. I think it was Will Smith.
Yeah, he hit one of them.
Got right on the warning track in the 14th inning, and I saw a lot of people on Twitter like, "Can you believe the fucking bias from Joe Davis calling this game?" And like, look, as a Dodgers hater, I like Joe Davis. I think he's a good announcer. I think he's got a good voice for announcing, and I
He's one of
think
the
he
best.
provides a good energy to the broadcast booth. If you think that that is bias just because it's the Dodgers, and now I do wish in a playoff series he would call someone not the Dodgers. That's never going to happen because I just like to see him in a neutral environment.
Right.
But like they're using I think it was Vladdy hit a home run in like the third inning, and they're using that and the Will Smith warning track robbed home run almost. Um, as like a comparison for his bias. It's like one of them is a home run in the third inning, the top of the third inning, which is monumental in itself in a World Series game, but it's the third fucking inning. And the other one is a potential walk-off home run in the bottom of the 14th. Like these two things are not the
Not the
same.
same.
And Exactly. And so I think to equate them, it would be a much different story if it happened in the top of the 14th versus the bottom of the 14th. Then you're like, okay, wait, hold on a second. You might be cooking. But there is an 11 inning difference between the two calls. A baseball game
There's
standard traditionally
there's
is 9
over a
innings.
baseball game. And what's
Yes.
even crazier is they went 12 innings in a row without scoring a run. I think
Mm-hmm.
is what it was in total because they stopped scoring in the 7th.
Mm-hmm. That
So it
sounds
would have
right.
been 11 innings without a run. But yeah, it's fucking crazy. They played over an entire game of baseball 0-0 with only bullpen arms.
Yep.
Insane game of baseball. So much fun to watch.
But yeah. So yeah, it's been fun. It's now entering the top of the fifth. We'll keep it updated as we go through the episode. I think that'll be fun
That'll
to
be a
do.
fun
But
little background thing.
yeah. But next, moving on to the football portion, and we've got our tier list for week 8. So this is obviously a stock report. The most recent weeks mean the most, but sometimes a week 2, week 3 performance can hold a little bit of weight here. But generally speaking, we want to give you a real, accurate, fair temperature check. We don't want to be like, well, this team is 3 and
Remember
4,
when
but
the Raiders
I think
smacked the
they're
Patriots in week 1? We're going to put them and can't
yeah,
decide.
yeah,
I don't
right,
know,
right.
man.
but in all seriousness, like we're not going to be like, oh, this team is 3 and 4, but I said they were a Super Bowl contender before the year, so they obviously have to be an S tier. No, that's not how we do it. If they're 3 and 4 and they're looking like shit, they're going to be in the shit tier. That's plain and simple. Um, yeah, we don't fuck around here. But our tiers are superheroes, supervillains, supercurse, Super Bowl is our S tier. We still have the Lions up there. They're off a bye. That's where they were last week. And then we have
The
almost almighty in
the
our A tier.
bourgeoisie is fucking goaded.
Yeah. So the Seahawks and Rams also on bye. They were in the A tier last week, so they're going to continue to be this week. Yeah, bourgeoisie instead of bougie. We have bourgeoisie, which is, I mean, it's the exact same thing, but I thought it was funny. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars there. They were there last week. Can't decide is our C tier this week. Dead Men Walking, we've kept around for a while. The Cardinals are currently in that tier. And then
Mhm.
Football is Not Real is our F tier this week. We got the lowly Las Vegas Raiders as the lone recipient of that award so far. But they will not be alone very, very quickly.
Yeah, they will be joined. That is for sure.
Yeah. I had this sorted by game before, but my browser updated, like I said before the episode. So we can just go in any order you want, wherever you want to take it.
I really want to start off with the Dolphins here. Broofy isn't here right now, but we could go ahead and give them praise. They looked like a football team. They're still
Mm-hmm.
dead, and honestly, they probably still belong in Football Is Not Real, but they blew out the Falcons so dominantly, we will give them a tier above.
Yeah, I think it's worthy. The most surprising thing was the run game, or the run defense rather, really improved this week. And Bijan's been kept quiet the last couple weeks now, and so that I think is cause for concern. I think honestly, man, you're getting to the point again where you need to start putting these coaches on the hot seat because this roster is too
It's
talented
arguable they should have
for
been
them
fired by
to.
now.
Yeah, I argued for Raheem Morris's firing last season,
I said
and
that
we're
he was
getting
the worst hire when he got hired.
yeah, and we're entering that conversation again, unfortunately. But that's just the reality of it. I think honestly, I don't remember where they were. They might have been in Bourgeois Z last week, but I
Dude,
mean,
they can't be.
do we really think?
Like, they got to be can't
I
decide.
I guess, yeah, but we're veering toward Dead Men Walking if this losing streak continues in this fashion.
So
But
they're in can't decide because they can't decide what they are.
yeah, yeah, that it really is like indicative of that description for that tier. And I did the rundown last week on their schedule, and it makes perfect sense. So can't decide for sure.
Hmm. The Baltimore Ravens, this is a team that last week I said y'all need to watch out for. This is a team that can contend for the division, and I am fully in support of that. I am only going to make one criticism of this team for this past week, and it's honestly not even for this past week. It's why the fuck was Cooper Rush starting in the first place when Tyler Huntley was still on your team?
Yeah,
Like
fair argument.
you have a player who is a perfect emulation of Lamar Jackson as a backup. He is just not good enough to be a starter, but he is the exact play style of Lamar Jackson. And he is perfectly indicative of, like, he's perfectly shown that he can execute this offense. He has shown that he in the past has been successful running this offense. I mean, this is a fucking all pro, or not all pro, this is a fucking pro bowler we're talking about here. And you're choosing to start Cooper Rush, a guy who has no mobility, when you know your offensive line has been struggling, when you know that Derrick Henry has been struggling. It just made zero sense to me. And so
Right.
I am highly critical of Tyler Huntley not starting because he could have won you games that you've lost earlier in the year. But good to go out there and execute against the Bears. Lamar's back. This team should hit the ground running. That being said, above the Falcons and can't decide.
Yeah, yeah. Can't put them too high yet, of course. And this is why this is the perfect like C tier. Like they could still continue to lose because the roster's still very beat up and the defense still isn't very good. You could say that they've gotten better over the last couple weeks, but they were playing a Puka Nakua-less Rams team. Then they were playing Caleb Williams, who has had trouble with turnovers this year. So you still don't exactly know, and I think this is why it's just perfect for the C tier this week is can't decide, because I think there are going to be a lot of teams in this tier that like, are you good or are you not? We still
Mm-hmm.
don't know yet. But yeah, the Ravens are ascending at the very least. Buffalo
Bills
Bills up next.
take care of business. They're right back up there in the bottom of S tier, top of A tier discussion for me.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably still A tier because they do have two losses. They did look pretty bad in their loss against the Falcons. Falcons' loss looks even worse now. Um, but this team can beat anybody. I'm picking them this week. Newsflash, like, just saying. Sorry, Kansas City, your time has come. You're going to Buffalo. You're not coming out with a dub. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely sticking with his team. I think they'll be an S tier by the end of by next week.
Yeah, maybe. I definitely prefer another AFC team over them right now, which we'll get into shortly. Maybe a couple of them,
I was
but
gonna say
for right
there's
now,
two. There's two. I would
yeah,
put above them.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, look, very, very solid team. I think, when Josh Allen's on, he's on, and he's an MVP caliber player. We saw
Hmm.
that last season. We're seeing it again this season. And look, they seem to have always, with this Sean McDermott, Josh Allen regime here, they always have a couple of weeks by week 6, 7. Oh shit, I did the meme. Uh, but
I'm holding
they
titties.
struggle. But they for some reason struggle in just a couple of weeks in the middle of the year, and then they get out of the rut, then they make a big run and they look like the best team in the NFL once again. So I think that could be the case again. They completely dominated the Carolina Panthers. That was one that, I definitely picked the Bills, and I probably would have picked them by a couple of scores, maybe by like 10 points, but they won by 31 against a team that has been pretty solid over the last few weeks. So that was a really, really nice win. It was a
Hmm.
get right game after the bye. Definitely A tier. That said, the Panthers, I don't remember where we had them. It was definitely in the B or C tier, though. And I don't see any reason to move them either way. I just wish we had the last week's for reference, because I don't think they would move from wherever they were.
Who did they play? I can't remember. I thought they got
Um,
killed.
they beat the Jets 2 weeks ago.
Oh, but I'm saying last week.
They played the Bills. Yeah,
Yeah, they got killed. I mean, yeah, they're right there with the Falcons on can't decide. It's an
I
ugly
think I
team.
prefer them over the Falcons. They also beat them 30-0 a
Yeah,
handful of weeks ago, which is a long
absolutely.
time ago. But with the way the Falcons are looking now, that seems more indicative of
It's
the
a good
team that
enough
they are.
tiebreaker for me.
All right, Chicago Bears, who we talked about briefly there.
Pretty
What
bad
do we have them
loss
here?
against the Ravens, still without Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's not a good look. This is such a can't decide team. But I would put them above both the NFC South teams.
Yeah, yeah. it was definitely a tough loss as well when you have a 4-game win streak before that, and this was kind of the critical moment last season. They started 4-2 as well last season, and then they lose a really heartbreaking game against the Commanders. Obviously, this week was a different scenario, but this
Hmm.
is like the turning pivotal moment, and they only won one game the rest of the season last season. And so I'm not trying to say that this is going to be the exact same. It's a different team, different coaching staff, and I think that they are better, but you need to start if you are within that Bears team, like start asking some questions like can we actually be a team that's going to contend in the NFC North, which is a tough division outside of one team at the moment. Yeah.
The
Cincinnati
Cincinnati
Bengals up
Bengals
next.
continue to manufacture ways to lose games. The Steelers lost to this team.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, they're below the Cardinals for me just because I can't stand Zach Taylor. I
Yeah, that's fair. I and look, if Jacoby Brissett is playing for the Cardinals, I'd definitely pick the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, if
But if
Jacoby
Kyler
Brissett, well, I
Murray,
mean Jacoby and Joe, I mean
yeah,
close
yeah.
match.
But yeah, you're exactly right, and we can just move the Jets right now. They're still in. Football's not real, but maybe
Yeah,
not
the
the
only
worst
team
team
that
anymore.
that win only puts them above the Titans, which we can plop right down there too.
Yeah, yeah. But look, hey, stud of the week, one of them. We usually try to find lower profile players to boost them up, but I mean, when you have a week like Brees Hall had, where you rush for a score, you receive for a score, and you throw for a score, I think that's worth getting your flowers on the, of course, illustrious show Coast Knows Ball. So congrats, Brees Hall. You are a stud of the week. Uh,
Shout out Brees Hall. You probably don't remember me. You put me on my ass in high school.
he probably did that 200 times in high school.
Nah, he was out by the first quarter because they were beating us that bad.
Well, through the whole
Oh
season is
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean, but yeah.
yeah. Every single carry, multiple faces in the dirt.
But hey, it's a fun story to bring up every once in a while. But
Yeah.
congratulations. The Tennessee Titans look just as bad without a head coach as they did with one. So congratulations, you're the worst team in the NFL. Cam Ward has been pretty bad too the last couple weeks, which is a little concerning. Uh, I mean, it's not that concerning. He's still a rookie. You're not going to sell on him immediately. If anything, like getting the first overall pick in this upcoming draft is a blessing because you could just trade back and get a haul of picks. So
Right.
I still think they're in an okay position. I just
Although I'm not gonna
really
lie,
needed.
I'm pulling a Kyler Murray if I'm the Titans. If I have the number one pick again and the quarterbacks that are available next year, they're that much better than Cam Ward is. I'm not gonna lie.
So you think they could trade Cam Ward and pick a Ty Simpson or something?
I don't think they do. I'm saying if I have the number one pick, I don't pass on Ty Simpson. I mean, if you watch the guy play, if it's just it's different. I don't know. It reminds me of 2019 Burrow. I'm not saying that their team is that good, but I'm saying the way he navigates the pocket, the way he's hitting every single throw on the money, it has that vibe.
Okay. I think the only different thing with the Kyler Murray one is Josh Rosen was a 10th overall pick, not a first overall pick.
Right.
But at the same time, maybe that means that Cam Warren has a lot of trade
But I
pedigree.
also would say
Um,
Josh Rosen would have gone number one in Cam Ward's class.
maybe, yeah, definitely an argument there.
Hmm.
Okay, well, we'll see. Regardless, it's going to be an interesting discussion in the offseason what they decide to do with that first. I assume will be a first overall pick.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Saints are going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, it's already too late.
Next up are
All
the
right.
Browns. I can't remember who they played, but it was a stink fest. It was bad.
It was the New England Patriots. They hung in
That's
there
right.
through the first quarter. The Patriots have started slow each game. Not like they've been starting bad, but they've started slow. And then they really, really come into form in that early second half window.
Hmm.
And yeah, so they did stomp them at the end of the day. The Browns just look really, really awful. Miles Garrett recorded 5 sacks, and he's slamming his helmet on the sideline. Like, bro, you took the payday. You knew what you were going into. I don't feel sad for him. I don't feel bad for him.
I mean, I kind of do because he had Baker Mayfield. He had a great team. Imagine how good the
Yes.
Browns would be if they didn't have to worry about quarterback for the last 4 years.
No,
If the,
I'm with you there, and that sucks. But he had an opportunity to leave and get a paycheck from someone else. He chose the paycheck with the Browns. And so, like, you reap what you sow. This is the team that you decided to stick with. You need to live with it and not, throw a tantrum on the sideline. I don't know. That's just me.
eh, I get it. I get it both ways because at the same time, you want to be loyal to the team that drafted you. Like you sign that contract hoping that you can be a part of the Browns that made it because you want to have that
I get
legacy.
it, but
But
I
like,
get it, but you're not a quarterback. I feel like players like this, a lot of times they play for multiple teams in their career. You know what I mean?
I mean,
And
and like a JJ
just the
Watt
way,
where he plays 2.5 seasons with the Cardinals and their
well,
retires.
I mean, yeah, that's one example. But when you're playing for a bad team for the better half of a decade, don't you want to just move on? Like, that's what I don't understand. I get like wanting to play for the team that drafted you and
But he
whatever,
had
but
success
you're
early on in his career. I mean, you got to look at it this way.
his
He had the one
his
in 15 season, and then he had the Baker Mayfield 8-win season. He had the down year sophomore year, and then in his contract season, they go to the playoffs and smack the Steelers. Like, and they almost beat the Chiefs. They almost knocked off the Chiefs.
Sure, that was going into the second contract. This is the third contract now that he's taken on because he took that huge pay raise. This
Hmm.
this is like this is just him taking a payday, and that's fine. But don't expect sympathy from me, is all I'm saying, because
I
you
guess
took the
that's
payday
fair.
with a bad team, and it's a bad head coach in my opinion. It's a bad ownership, bad GM,
Bad
making poor
everything.
decisions all over the place. Like, it's just, yeah, I'm not sympathetic toward it at all.
Next
Anyway.
up, the dreaded Broncos and Cowboys. Cowboys, I want to say can't decide, but honestly, do they even deserve to be that high? Their offense is really good, but they have a nasty, disgusting defense.
I don't think they've, because we had them in bougie last week. I don't think that they've stooped to that low. I'm against an obviously good Broncos team, right? It was a rough game, but
Hmm.
I think they put in some really good performances in the last couple weeks. I think they're still in the C tier here. They're not dead men walking yet, certainly, especially with how the Commanders have been playing and how open the wild card spots in the NFC feel, even though they
Hmm.
kind of aren't. At least one of them is open, maybe. But yeah, I think they just lost to the Panthers a couple weeks ago as well, so maybe they're right behind them. But I mean, I could also see them one spot ahead too. They did beat the Bears in week 2, but that was a long time ago. I think that's like good where they are right there.
You know what would be funny that I just thought about that would make my dad have to stop being a Cowboys fan? Is if they fired Brian Schottenheimer after this season, which they're not going to, but if they did to hire Steve Sarkisian, the Texas head coach,
Wow.
that
Wow.
I just thought about that because he's wanting to go to the NFL from most reports, and apparently he's a heavy candidate, like a favorite for getting an NFL job this offseason. So
Okay. Yeah, definitely not going to the Cowboys though. They like Schottenheimer. Frankly, I do. I think he's done a really great job in the offense. It's not his fault that his owner traded away his best asset on defense.
I guess
Plain and
that's fair.
simple. But yeah, so they lost to the Bears and Panthers, so I think it's okay to have them down there. One
Hmm.
of them was fairly recent. Meanwhile, the Broncos, I think we had them in bougie last week. I think it's time. They need to be in the A tier, probably around the Rams Seahawks range there.
Yeah, I would definitely say right below the Seahawks. I would put them above the Rams.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Yeah, great win. Not happy with your fan base, but great win.
Sore winners.
Uh, Yeah, very sore winners. Holy shit. I have never experienced a bigger sore winner than the Broncos fan base. You guys need to
Dude,
calm down. Holy
it's
fuck.
worse
I
than
can
Cameron,
we
bro.
compliment you guys in our reels, in our shorts, and you guys still come at our throat. It's crazy. We love the engagement, but relax a little bit.
Right there
We'll
with you,
take friendly
Anthony.
banter. We won't take insults. That's not nice. Anyway, Green Bay Packers. Yeah, I mean they're up here too. They just keep winning. Maybe not in the most convincing of ways, but the record speaks for themselves. Frankly,
I thought they looked solid. I mean, they dominated that second half handily.
yeah, yeah.
But it is a team that also just lost to the Bengals, so you give and you
No,
get
they beat
with
the
this team.
Bengals.
No, the Steelers lost to the Bengals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you. Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I would
So I
say I would say right in that range. I think that's fair.
okay. Next up, the Houston Texans, getting their by far their best performance
Are they out of
this
Deadman
season.
walking yet?
It's tough to call. I think that win is very crucial. Maybe not for the division race, but for what feels like an
But
open wild
okay,
card
but
race.
Niners curse. Imagine they just
Niners
immediately go
curse.
right on a loss, dude.
Niners curse is a real thing. I'm telling you. Who are they playing? They're playing the Broncos. Oof. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
uh,
bro. Because
they
I think they
I
might just
and
lose again and then be right back there. I don't want to. I think they got to be top of dead men walking for now. I
I
don't. I
think
can't put them
so.
on.
I think
'Cause-
you're right because, and we'll get into the matchup of that game, and when we get there, but definitely very different. It's going to look very different compared to what San Francisco did. And let's just
oh
talk
yeah,
about San Francisco real quick while we're here. That was easily their worst game of the season. It was their worst. Like they were felt the least prepared that they've been all year,
I would
and it
still
felt
say
like the
bougie
injuries.
tier.
I think bougie as well. The Jaguars did beat them earlier in the year. Not that that game has too much say anymore, but
I would say
below
they're
them is
above
okay.
the Jags personally.
Okay. Um, but yeah, just really not prepared for that one, and I think it exemplified what the real issues are with this team. Number one, Brock Purdy is better than Mac Jones. We can stop with the honeymoon phase on social media and everything. Brock Purdy is better. He is worthy of that contract. And when he comes back healthy, it will make a lot of sense. When these playmakers on offense come back healthy, it will make a lot of sense. Uh, and his mobility is a big reason why. This offensive line can't stop anything. I mean, Mac Jones must have had like half a second to throw on each down. It was crazy to see. They couldn't get the run game going, and they haven't really been able to at all this season. But the Houston Texans, credit to them, also were able to shut down McCaffrey in the pass game because Mac Jones had no time to throw to even his check down. Like it was really a disaster on the offensive line front, and then it was a disaster on the defensive line front. Houston's supposed to have one of the worst defensive or worst offensive lines rather in the NFL, and you couldn't generate any pressure on them. Every time you had a blitz package, Stroud had a quick out to get to before the pressure even came. And half the time you were rushing forward because that's what Saleh does. He doesn't blitz much, and you couldn't generate any pressure. Like that is a big deal. Like where's Michael Williams on this team? He's the 11th overall pick. I need to see some kind of production here, man. We're not even stopping the run at a high level, and you came in as a raw pass rusher, but a refined run stopper. We can't even stop the run. Like I I don't know. There are just a lot of cracks.
Frustrations.
I'm going to say a lot of cracks showing with this team, and I definitely think the injuries might catch up to them at some point. But maybe they don't catch up to them in time before they start to get healthier again. With Brock Purdy coming back, with Ricky Pearsall coming back, with Brandon Ayuk coming back, with Bryce Huff in a few weeks coming back. So hopefully they can just weather the storm until then. It feels like again the wild card race in the NFC, that seventh seed at the very least is going to be open. They still possess a wild card spot. They're only 5-3. I mean, it's not like they're 3-5 and
Yeah,
every
this
win is a
isn't a
must
bad
win.
football team. That's why I vowed for them to be above the Jags because I do think the Jags are one loss away from being bottom of can't decide.
Yeah, could be, especially off the bye. Yeah, I guess
Hmm.
the Raiders. The Colts is one of the teams that I alluded to earlier when talking about the Bills. There's no reason to move them down from the S tier right now. They look like, in my opinion, the best in football,
Yeah, they're
behind the
probably one.
Lions,
I mean, best record in football, best
or
team
in
in
front of the Lions.
football.
Yeah. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. They impose their will every week on offense. And yeah, they played the Titans twice, but they have not they have not made it interesting. Like these
No.
games are over by the first quarter. I think Daniel Jones seems like he's legit. When he has a good coach, when he has a good scheme and good offensive line, he can deal the ball.
Well, Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor has what,
Taylor,
18 touchdowns?
he I don't know about 18, but he has an obscene amount of production regardless. They both frankly could be in the MVP race. Obviously
It's
it's a much
it's
more
Jonathan Taylor is
heavily.
the leading favorite for me.
Yeah, but I mean realistically speaking, it's a quarterback leading award, which is unfortunate because I definitely think Taylor's making a case for
Hey,
sure, but
Benchwarmer Brand made a funny ass video about this where he was playing Patrick Mahomes. He was like, "I think it should be Danny. He's the quarterback. They have the best record. It should be Danny."
yeah. But hey, credit to the Colts. I mean, Steichen would have been on the hot seat, like big time, if they weren't producing this season. But
But this is completely blowing our expectations out of the water. This is what we thought Shane Steichen should have been, and it really just goes to show that Anthony Richardson is just Jamarcus Russell 2.0. He is that bad.
yeah,
He is
yes,
legitimately that
yes.
bad.
And I still can't believe and again, we did not foresee this. We foresaw like an 8-win team with Daniel Jones, but some of the anger that was coming out of Colts fans when that decision was made, I'm like, do you really want to go through another five like
Hey, we all
whatever
picked the
wins?
Dolphins, man. We all picked the Dolphins to beat the Colts.
Yeah, yeah. But honestly speaking, do you want to go through five whatever wins out of the five or out of the 10 games that Anthony Richardson plays in this year and still have no idea what your future is at quarterback? Or do you want to play the high end backup that actually ends up being a high end starter for you anyway, but who has maybe a lower ceiling but a much higher floor? You know what I mean? And just
Is he
compete
on a
when you have a
multi-year
competitive
contract or is
roster.
it only a 1-year deal?
I think it's 2 years. He's
Yeah,
getting
if
paid
they got him
16
for
and
2 years, they might just have to renegotiate at this point. They like if
I
I'm
think it's
Danny,
two
I might be
years,
holding
32
out.
million. 1 year, 14. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was two, but I guess it's one. So, I mean, yeah, like, fuck.
Yeah, Danny Dimes got 1 year 14 million in the same offseason that Justin Fields got 2 year 40 mil.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, think about that for a second. But, yeah, so credit to Indiana Jones there. Now, the franchise tag makes a lot of sense for the Colts, but we can talk about that, of course, down the stretch here.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You
all
mean the
right,
thing
Kansas
that they
City.
should have done to Danny Dimes in New York? The writing was so on the wall for them, and they fucked that situation up so bad.
uh, Man, that poverty franchise, I'm telling you, crazy stuff.
Hmm.
But here we are, the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously firmly in the A tier at this point. They are rolling. Patrick Mahomes is looking like
I
a
was
top.
gonna say I think they're above the Bills right now. Like power rankings wise, I think they are above the Bills' momentum. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I think it's really close there, and we will definitely have an answer this weekend because they play each other, which is really fun that we have this
mhm.
kind of thing. But I mean, man,
I guess my
yeah,
logic is
just
flawed since I'm picking the Bills, but I just think like resume wise, I think the Chiefs look better right now. I think they've had a tougher schedule though. I also think the Bills' losses look worse.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you there. I'm with you with all that logic. And of course, a prediction next week is forecasting. It's a stock report right now. And I think
Right.
their stock is at least top three highest, which was what we have here.
Hmm.
All right. The LA Chargers up next. Get a
Good
much needed win
bounce
in
back
prime
win.
time. And it was a really nice bounce back win. I think probably still like toward the top, maybe the bottom of A tier, but maybe probably the top of B tier for me.
See, I
Just
think
because
they're
I
right there
still
with the
have,
Rams. I think them and the Rams are very similar teams, and me personally, I would say the Rams probably are right above them. I think they're just below the Rams.
okay,
I would
I'm
put
cool with
them
that.
top of B tier though.
The Chargers,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. I think I need I need a good win against a good team here. Who are they
Hmm.
playing this week?
The
The Titans.
Titans.
Well, if
A good win
if
against a bad team, yeah.
I need the win, I need them to win like 35-0 or something like that. Like I
They
can't
can give up one field goal.
if they win like 17-10, I'm disappointed and they are
They can
staying in
give up
Beijing.
one
But
field goal, and it can only be on like a really bad like fumble or turnover in their own positive territory, where the Titans are kicking a field goal because they're already down 30 and or their coach doesn't know how to go for it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are dead men walking at this point.
They're
The
bad. I'm picking
they're
all the
really
teams in D
bad.
tier over them.
I might be too. I mean, the only debate is
The
Miami,
Dolphins.
but holy fuck, dude. The quarterback play is terrible. I'm not sure how much better JJ McCarthy would be at this point, but
Get Kirk
you need to put
Cousins
him back
back,
in.
dude.
You need to get reps for the rookie at this point because you're not going to be competing this year because your
I
team is
guess
just
that's fair.
bad. I think your coaching has been really poor in the last few weeks as well. I'm at the point where Kevin O'Connell should be on some kind of a warm seat. Not that he's a bad coach,
He's not
but
going to
the
get
way that he's
fired.
handled,
You can't
he's
fire him
not.
this offseason.
He won't get fired. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you need to start asking questions
I agree.
because the way that he's handled this quarterback situation since the offseason has I think been very poor. And in hindsight, of course, it's been very poor as well, you know. So yeah, it's just tough. But again, it's not just that. It's the play calling. I think his situationally, especially, has been terrible this year on offense. I think the defense, for how loaded they are, especially on the defensive front, for them to struggle this much is really alarming to me. They've invested a lot of money and a lot of draft picks in the defense, and it's not good right now.
Yeah, this is a total failure on all accounts, especially from such a high investment offseason. This team is a total disappointment. The short of me saying that JJ is an MVP candidate was fucking stupid, and I look like the biggest idiot on earth right now because of that. But
Not worse than Nick Wright, don't worry.
that is true. I mean, we got Nick Wright, and we also have the Bears fan who I can't think of his name. And fuck, what is that guy's name? The Bears fan who always does picks at the beginning of the year, and they're always
Adam
dog
Rank.
shit. Adam
Adam
Rank,
Rank.
yes, dude.
Funny enough, I think out of the ESPN crew, he has the best record on pick'ems this year.
No, oh, because the Bears are winning right now. They'll lose soon.
No, even with the sometimes with the they put the graphics of all the 10 ESPN people,
Hmm.
and he's like the one lone dogging certain teams, and he's the
Right.
only person picking, and he ends up correct. He's the one guy who got it correct, so it's been pretty funny.
That's such a
But
twist from normalcy because
yeah.
he
Uh,
sucks.
all right, New England. I think this is another team that's in that contention for top team of
Right
the
below the
AFC, and
Bills.
I think they're above the Bills. I think
Then yeah,
number
right above the
one,
Bills.
the victory a few weeks ago, not that it holds much stock, but they've continued to roll since then. And I think Drake May has
Dang.
firmly inserted himself into the MVP category. He's playing like a top six quarterback right now. Just really excellent football. I just really I need to see them get this run game going and improve it.
Yeah, this team is super one-dimensional right now, and it's working because they have the best quarterback in football. Just plain and simple, Drake May has been the best quarterback in football this year. Um, his deep completion accuracy is off the charts. I mean, the stat of he has a 73% completion percentage on the year or something like that, while also having the third most yards per attempt, while also having no run game. That is mind-boggling levels of success at the quarterback position from a guy who we thought was raw, who is only in his second year. I'm just enamored with Drake May this season. He's been off the charts. The Patriots are fun to watch. I can't. I know that we're supposed to hate them because they're the dynasty and it's too soon, but I just love watching the Patriots. So I mean, I got a soft spot for this team because I'm a huge Drake May guy, and it's been cool to see them succeed this year.
Yeah. I mean, color me shocked. The Mike Vrabel team is gritty and good.
Right.
Um, All
Tennessee
right, New
Titans.
Orleans. Yeah. New Orleans Saints. You tell me where they go here.
Right above the Jets, because I'm picking the
Okay.
Raiders if they play the Raiders, especially
Okay.
with Shuck starting.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised and not surprised at Rattler's
I don't
short
think it makes
leash.
any sense. I
Um, well, I get it because you have a rookie quarterback on the bench who you spent a second round pick on, but at the same time, he has been pretty good this year, and he's only struggled really in 3 games so far. And it's a bad football team, and it's a tough schedule, and so that part of it is puzzling. Like, man, are we
mhm.
just giving up on him, and kind of like, I don't know, calling it quits on him, and he's probably not going to be back, whatever it is. But
Right, and it's
it's
just such
just
a
a little
shitty thing
weird.
to do in the locker room for a guy who's genuinely played his ass off this season. Like we're talking about a person who's been a top 23, top 24 quarterback. Like he's been what you expect a first round quarterback to play like. And I'm not saying that he is that talent and that he'll be that way sustained for a long period of time. But his results so far have not been even remotely bench worthy. This team is
Right.
a fundamental failure when it comes to fourth quarter execution, and they cannot succeed anywhere when it comes to defense in the clutch. So I don't know what you expect your quarterback to do when he cannot come on the field with a lead. He has not come on the field with a lead the entire season. Like I don't
Hmm.
know what you expect from the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate situation. I'm not very excited for Tyler Shuck, but I mean,
Me
if he
neither.
improves the offense, then I don't
He
know,
won't though. That's the thing though. You
probably not.
know he's not going to. This is purely just to show Saints fan that Shucks sucks too, and our GM is terrible at drafting.
Yeah.
We fucking took Peyton Turner, 27th overall. Oh my god, dude. Eagles. Oh no, Giants.
New York
Sorry.
Giants. Yeah. The
They got
insanity
fucked.
run, I think, is over.
I don't care. They got fucked. This is not a bad game on their books, in my opinion.
No, they did. I think they still would have lost, and maybe by 2 scores, but they definitely. I mean, the bad officiating, and I think that it's weird how every week we're like, that's the play that's going to get the tush push banned. That's the play that's going to get the tush push banned. This one is the play. This is the play
This
that's going to
has to
get
be
the
the
tush
play.
push banned. So either one of two things are going to happen. So either one, the play, that kind of formation will be banned. Number two, forward progress will be reverted back to what it was years ago before the tush push, where you get stopped, you're stopped, not you get stopped, you get pushed over, and then the play stops. So
Yeah,
one of
because
two things is going to
we've
happen.
shown that there is second effort for the offense, but there's no second effort for the defense, and that is
Right, right,
bullshit.
right. And so, but point being, if that second thing happens, it's like, well, the tush push play isn't banned, but it is effectively useless now because the whole point of the play is that you don't get it on first effort and then you get it on second effort because the whistle hasn't been blown yet. So if the whistle gets blown after the first effort, it will not be a converted play. And so the play will effectively be dead regardless of what happens. I think actually the latter is probably more likely to happen because then you start to beg the question about quarterback sneaking and other
Hmm.
types of plays like that if you ban the tush push formation in general. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so sick of the Eagles, but we are talking about the Giants real quick. I think that they are top of Dead Men Walking because that's where they belong. I think they're the best out of the teams that are not going to do anything this year. I think they can be frisky any week that they want, and that this game was not as big of a blowout nearly as the score says.
my only
It wasn't
rebuttal
also it
there.
was also more than just the tush push. The refs in that game were very very not good
Right.
for that entire
But
time.
that's like you want to look at one play to explain to someone how bad they were. It's that
Right.
play.
Yeah.
Um, the other issue though, which is why I refute this a little bit, is the Cam Scatabo injury. And usually, an injury to a running back is not the end of the world, but I feel like in this particular case where there was just so much momentum and so much of their team identity is this no fucks given, just butt heads, brutal type of football, and you lose
Dude,
kind
bro,
of that
football.
cornerstone piece of that. And man, and it's a gruesome injury. Like I think that
It's
kind of
even
injury,
worse than
and they're
originally reported apparently.
yeah, And to me, that is unfortunately like when you hear the words worse than initially reported and you see what actually happened on the field, you are beginning to question whether he ever plays again. Like genuinely speaking. And that's really unfortunate because it's a talented player, it's a fun player to watch, really.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the run game will still be okay. I like Tyrone Tracy. I said it last year. I thought he was going to take the job immediately from Singletary, and he kind of did. Um, so I
Yeah,
think they
I
could still
mean,
be an effective run
we've
team,
thought that
but
he had the job going into
yeah,
this year.
yeah. But then he gets hurt, and then Seattle plays great. That's kind of what happens, especially at that
Right.
position. But
Mhm.
here we go. Next man up. Um, Eagles, on the other hand, back in A tier, I suppose.
Yeah, right below the Broncos, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Just a very good football team. A little annoying that they're this good, but
Right.
they are.
Nick Sirianni still
Um,
has most punchable face award, so
yeah.
God is good.
All right. Pittsburgh Steelers, 4-3 record, just lost on Sunday Night Football to the Packers. I think we probably had them in bougie last week. I don't know if there's enough to move them down a whole tier, but I could hear an argument for it.
You can't move them down a tier because you cannot have the Ravens above them quite yet. You just can't. So I
That's
would
fair.
say definitely put them bottom of B tier. Bucks
That's fair.
are starting to cool off a little bit, but they get a good bounce back win. I would say they're above the Rams probably, right
I'm
below
not
the Eagles.
sure. I think I have real concerns with the last couple weeks and the quality of play. And I get it; they're dealing with a lot of injuries. The passing attack has not been the same with Bucky Irving out over the last several weeks now. But
Right.
that doesn't really explain why Baker has very quickly over the last couple weeks not been very good. And after having such an MVP caliber season up until that Lions game, you're like, oh man, is this like is that are the injuries once again similar to the 49ers? Are they just catching up to them where now they just aren't going to be quite the same? And I think missing a Mike Evans for the rest of the year with that broken collarbone too, like man, you're starting to get real concern for this team. Not probably not for the division, but definitely for like success deep in the playoffs, which you think that they could be capable of. But if they're going to continue on a cold streak, and if this is more their identity because of the injuries
Mhm.
than it was in week 2 or 3, and remember, like Baker playing at an MVP level allowed them to barely beat the Texans and barely beat all these other teams that they beat early in the year. So I think they're in bougie. I think they're right ahead of the 49ers. I think they're pretty much in the same boat though at this point. They just had, they have their starting quarterback, whereas the 49ers don't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it also just feels weird because they've beaten multiple teams ahead of them. And like the game
They
against the
have,
Lions that
but
they lost was also one of the most one-sided officiated games on the season.
well, the only team that they've beaten ahead of them has been um the Seahawks, right?
I thought they played the Rams, but I could be wrong.
I don't think they played the Rams. They lost to the Eagles as well. They lost to the Lions. I think they're fine where they're at.
I guess that's fair. I think they have more quality wins than the Chargers, though. That's my problem.
Okay. Commanders can't decide. Probably,
Yeah, probably below the Bears
probably.
since they lost to the Bears.
I was gonna
Oh
say
no, they
below the
lost to the Cowboys
Cowboys.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, it's unfortunate because again, another beat up team.
Cowboys beat the
And
Panthers
this
though, didn't they?
no, the Cowboys lost to the Panthers.
That's right.
Um, and the score in the Commanders Chiefs game, I think, indicated a bigger victory than it actually was. I thought the Commanders played okay for most of it, but you when you don't score points, you don't win games. Just kind of
Yeah, I
very simple
mean,
math here.
too much sloppy football in that game. Holy shit. It
Yeah,
was not fun to watch at all.
yeah. Real quick, a check in on the baseball game. Blue Jays are up 3-1. It's the top of the seventh, so nothing's changed, but it's closer to victory.
Hey man, it is
Yeah,
beautiful seeing that Dodgers offense get stifled. It is
yeah.
so nice.
Absolutely. All right. Rapid fire pick'ems here. Starting with the Thursday night football game this week, we've got the Baltimore Ravens on the road against the Miami Dolphins, both coming off of big, impressive victories. Jacob, what do you got?
I got the Ravens coming off another big impressive victory. This is going to be the oh shit moment for a lot of people. This is going to be the Ravens are here. They're 3-5 now. The Steelers look bad, and they're coming. Ravens going to win by 20 plus. I don't think this is close.
Well, on the contrary, I do think it will be relatively close, though I am still, of course, leaning the Baltimore Ravens here. Primetime Thursday night games have been kind of tough, especially over the last couple of weeks. They've either been blowouts or they've been super close thrillers. So I could see either one happening, frankly. But for some reason, I have a feeling that the Dolphins will keep it a little close. They can ride some momentum from that impressive victory against the Falcons and against the Baltimore Ravens defense that's still very beat up and still underwhelming on the season. And so maybe, this visor Tua is is a big improvement. But yeah,
Eh,
still Ravens.
the Panthers butt fucked the Falcons and then got butt fucked by the Patriots 42 to whatever. So
Yeah. Well, that just speaks to how ridiculous the season's been.
that would be crazy Falcons curse. You blow the Falcons out, you that thou blows Falcons out, thou gets blown out.
Yeah, yeah. There's a new curse on our hands.
Yeah.
Next up, the Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans. I am so sorry, Broncos fans. It will never happen again, but this will never be a short, so you'll probably never see this. Joke's on you, motherfuckers. I'm picking the Broncos. They're the better team. And the matchup is horrible as well. Nick Benito is going to have like 4 sacks in this game. The pass rush is going to eat Stroud alive, something that did not happen last week, which is exactly why the Texans won. Give Stroud time. He can find the receiver. Don't give him time, and he's going to step into the sack.
Yeah, he has no pocket movement. It's gone with him at this point. Give me the Broncos.
Next up, the LA Chargers coming off a mini bye from Thursday night on the road against the Tennessee Titans. Another straightforward, should be no brainer pick. But the
It's a lot of
Chargers,
those this week too.
yeah, yeah. Which is again kind of a concern, right? Last week was the same thing, and there were a couple crazy upsets, crazy blowouts. But the Chargers have had a tendency to keep some bad teams close, and so that would be the one thing that's like, ooh, that's a little strange. But it is the Tennessee Titans, so I
Right.
don't expect an issue. This is my survivor pick, so fingers are crossed for this one.
Yeah, I think this has to be the survivor pick or the Colts over the chart or the Colts over the Steelers has to be. But
Okay.
speaking
Next up,
of,
the Colts and Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts. They are rolling. They cannot be stopped. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they just don't feel quite right. There just feels like
Steelers
a little
can't
bit of an
stop the run.
imbalance.
Jonathan Taylor might be on the verge of the best running back season of all time. Jonathan Taylor to go for 250. Not actually,
Ooh.
but like I feel like that. Like Jonathan Taylor can do what he wants in this game.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Colts impose their will on both sides of the ball. Rodgers and everyone around him doesn't seem to be quite on the same page in past few weeks. Like that Jalen Warren, not a flea flicker play.
The
Like that's
fucking
just really weird.
who's there? Broderick Jones
Yeah,
tackling him. That
yeah,
was so funny, dude.
yeah. It was really
If
funny.
y'all missed
Um,
it, the tackle, like the guy who's supposed to defend and protect Aaron Rodgers, fucking Aaron Rodgers throws a touchdown, and he then goes and mauls Aaron Rodgers to celebrate the touchdown. It was hilarious, but
yeah. All right. Next up, 2 teams off a bye here, which is a fun matchup always. The Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders.
yeah, this has to be the Jags winning this game. I mean, the Raiders are rough, and we were expecting a lot more from them, so it's super disappointing for them to be a completely non-competitive team, especially in a year where we feel like everyone is competitive. But they're just like in that bottom 3 teams where it's like if they're playing someone, I'm picking the other team.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. Geno Smith had a clean sheet technically against the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, but he's been one of the more insecure quarterbacks this season, and the Jaguars have done a pretty good job of creating turnovers, especially earlier in the season. So I think the bye week can be a nice return to form for them, a nice get right game against a bad team.
Absolutely. Next up, the
All right.
game of the week. The game of the year. It's the game of the year every single year. The Bills hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Anthony, are you going to be riding with the Kansas City Chiefs and sticking with the hot hand of Patrick Mahomes going into this season?
It is a total coin toss pick for me, and I hate to say it, but it might be just leaning the ref side here because I don't expect the Bills to be getting many calls in their favor, and I hate to pick based on that, but at the same time, it's not like the Chiefs have been bad. They have been rolling in the last few weeks. Patrick Mahomes looks as good as ever, frankly. I don't think people are talking about him quite enough outside of like MVP odds and whatever, but I think it's
Hmm.
genuinely been excellent. And so the Chiefs deserve a lot of credit, but I think that the Bills will keep it very close, very interesting. I could totally see the Bills winning.
Yeah, one thing I'm taking the Bills here just out of personal bias. It's a 50-50 game, so I'm going to pick the team I like more. Um, that's kind of my logic on this one. But there was the Chiefs game last week. I was watching it, and the entire time I was just thinking, God, how bad is Travis Kelce? And then I'm scrolling my phone today, and the New Heights fucking shorts pop up everybody's feed because that's what's getting promoted right now because NFL season. And they pull up the Travis Kelce is the second most receiving yards by a tight end. And it is purely because he leaks out on busted plays and just gets 60 yards run after catch when nobody else is around him, and he
Yep.
does that once every other week, and it gets him 1,000 yards every season because he sucks ass, dude. He had an interception that was entirely on his fault, and I'm watching this clip and I'm thinking, motherfuckers are gonna see this and think that Travis Kelce is actually a top five tight end still. He's not. He is not a top five tight end. I want to set that straight. If you saw that clip, it does not matter that he has the second most receiving yards. Watch the game. He does nothing, dude. It is Noah Gray level like talent that he's displaying. And what's funny is he's like, dude, I feel young as ever. I'm like, motherfucker, you look old as ever.
Yeah, you look. He looks slow and dispassionate. I think is the way to put it there. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think another part of it too is that a lot of star tight ends are hurt. Kittle missed 5 weeks. Uh,
McBride has Kyler Murray as his quarterback and Jacoby
yeah.
Brissett.
Fucking Brock Bowers has played like twice this year.
Colston
So like,
Loveland hasn't been thrown to.
yeah. Well, he was hurt too for a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, speaking of the Colston Loveland Chicago Bears, we've got the Bears at the Bengals this week. Could
The
be a
Bears
fun
have to
matchup.
win this game, right?
You would think. Is that who you're going with?
That's the sentence. Like that's the analysis. The Bears have to win this game, right? Like I'm picking the Bears. I don't feel comfortable about it at all, but they have to win this game, right? Like the Bears cannot go into Cincinnati coming off of a pretty bad loss last week. You got to go out there and win this game. This is a bounce back game you have to take advantage of. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere this season. Ben Johnson, we're looking at you, but go out there and execute, man. This is a team that you should beat.
Yeah, man, it's another really close game, and it's very fitting that on the close games we've been split this week as opposed to what happened last week. I'm gonna be leaning the Bengals right now. I could change my pick
Hmm.
before the game starts on Sunday, but I just really have concerns. And the concerns go both ways. The Bears are dealing with some health stuff in the secondary. And obviously, the Bengals' biggest strength are their receiving talent. And so I think that this will probably be a shootout because the Bengals' defense is also horrible. But I I do believe that if there's a quarterback in this game, and it's kind of crazy to say in 2025, but if there's a quarterback in this game that's going to make the extra mistake, it's probably Caleb Williams.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I I'm looking at this game thinking the Bengals or the Bears should have the better quarterback, but I mean, if we're being objective, it
They
probably
should.
is Falco or Flacco.
Yeah.
Falco.
Uh, all right. Atlanta
Give me the
Falcons on the
Patriots.
road
Fuck
against the
Atlanta, dude.
Patriots.
I'm not picking Atlanta for the rest of the season. I'm pulling a junior here. I can't trust this team to do jack shit.
Yeah, it's been looking pretty bad the last couple weeks. This could be another blowout victory for the Patriots, but also a blowout loss for the Falcons, and that would spell bad things for this team. It's unfortunate because they were really frisky for the most part in the first 5 6
Just
weeks,
throw
and
the ball to Drake London. Just throw
yeah,
him the ball. It's
yeah,
not that hard, guys.
he was out last week, but I think their issues are go a lot deeper than that, and it just I think very surface level it's coaching, and it keeps going further down from there. But look, it's got Patriots win written all over it, and that's exactly why the Falcons are going to win this game somehow. So
Nah, this is one that the Patriots win for sure.
they should, yeah, 100%.
Uh,
Okay.
this is one where it's like, okay, this is one where it's like, yeah, the Packers are like they're gonna win, right? And then this is the one where the Panthers are gonna pull it off. Uh, I don't know why, but I'm picking the Panthers. So this is the upset vibe of the week for me. But I'm riding with Carolina going into Green Bay.
I like your thought process, and it's because I like the Panthers this year, and I think that they're still vying for that playoff spot.
They're like
I
what,
think,
4-4 or 4-5? I
yeah,
mean,
they're 4 and
not
4,
4-5,
four and
but
four.
4-4. Yeah, 4-4 with like a
And
negative 80-point differential.
yeah, and this is a win. This is certainly a winnable game for them. Let's not get it twisted, but man, I do need to recuperate some of my picks
Yeah,
this
you
week. So
need to
I am,
pick a favorite about now.
yeah. I've been taking way too many upsets, and it has not paid off this year, which is the most shocking thing ever. That like the upsets have not, at least the upsets that I've picked have not worked out, or the popular upset picks have not worked out. The unpopular upset picks have been the ones that have been winning every week, which is annoying to say the least. But so I'll be picking the Packers. I mean, it's not like it's a oh wow, he's picking the Packers. Holy shit! No, the Packers are
Right.
a good team. Uh,
Dude,
next
now
up,
this is fucking atomic bomb and coughing baby, dude. The Lions off
yeah,
the bye against the Vikings?
yeah. How bad
But
do you
I
think it
will
gets?
say, this is a little sneaky. You know, we got JJ back.
Yeah, not much tape on JJ McCarthy. You might have a point.
Hey, man, I'm not picking the Vikings.
Aiden Hutchinson, congrats on your payday. Well deserved.
Go
Uh,
celebrate it with a 5-cent
Lions
game.
by Lions by 40.
That's selling it short, guys.
Lions by 50. How about that?
There we go. Now watch them
All
actually go
right.
out and fucking put a 60 bomb on them,
Oh my
like a
fucking
college
god.
football score. They
How
watch
funny
them
would
do
that
what
be?
OU did to Texas A&M, and it's 77-0 by the middle of the third quarter.
Jeez. Watch them be losing 17-10 halfway
Yeah,
through the
this
third
is
quarter.
gonna be the game where they're losing 13-6 at halftime, and they only have 2 field goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
All
like
right. Next
Aaron
up.
Jones has like a 90 rushing yard first half. That's
Yeah,
exactly
which
what's
is
gonna happen.
that's the most unrealistic part because the Vikings don't run the ball.
Or to Jones, it's a Jordan Mason team now.
Jordan Mason doesn't get the ball either. He got 1 carry last game or
Oh
two
shit!
carries. Yeah, they just don't run the ball.
Fuck.
I traded for him in a fantasy league. That was a real fucking smart move by me.
Yeah, you were shaming me preseason. You're like, dude, you just cut Jordan Mason. I'm like, it's fucking Jordan Mason, dude. Who cares? And then it
He's a
turns
good
out,
running back.
yeah, but
He's a
he's
good running
never
back.
healthy.
Jordan Mason's the one. Jordan Mason's the one that's healthy this year. Aaron Jones is the one that's not healthy.
I
But Jordan
understand.
Mason, even when it was only him in the backfield, he didn't get the fucking ball. It was crazy.
What the fuck?
What happened?
You just see the red light in my window?
No, I
That
did
was
see
weird.
that.
It's
Roll
probably
back
just
the tape.
we need an instant. What the fuck is the insurance commercial where it's like instant replay? No, you did say
Wait,
you wanted
there
spaghetti instead
is
of chicken Alfredo.
there is a little red hue. Is that what you're talking about? Like there's
No, I'm not
it
talking.
looks a little red in the
No, it was
corner
literally
there.
like a light. Like it was a light.
Oh,
Like I don't know, but
all right. Well,
I,
hopefully you're
I'll
not
show
getting a home
whenever I
invasion or
whenever I'm doing the editing, I'll be like, look, it's there. Fucking
yeah,
minute,
yeah.
an hour
Timestamp
and
this
21.
spot. All right.
But we got
Next
the
up,
yeah. You take it away, man.
the 49ers on the road in MetLife against the New York Giants. The scariest part about
Which
this game as a
49er is getting
49ers
injured
fan,
in this game?
that's what I was going to say. The scariest part about this game as a 49er fan is the MetLife turf. Uh, look, I want Brock Purdy back, but not for this game. Because that fucking turf toe is gonna be turf leg and it's gonna be ugly. Cannot do that. I'm taking the 49ers. I think this is a good bounce back game against a tough loss last week. Against a bad team. You know, that could like it could be interesting, I think, in the fourth quarter, maybe. They could get something going. But yeah, good bounce back win for the 49ers.
Give me the 49ers. Yeah, this is a team that and give me the Giants. The Giants are the upset pick of the game. I'm not picking an upset for the rest of the week, and I only have one upset, so I gotta pick the Giants here.
All right, fair enough, I guess. You could have saved your upset for this game. The New Orleans
Fuck
Saints
no.
at the LA Rams off the
This is
bye.
also atomic bomb and coughing baby.
Yeah, this will probably be ugly quickly. Although the Rams have kind of been a little bit quiet on offense the last couple of weeks outside of the Jags game, but the 2 weeks,
Yeah, but
the
so are the
week after,
Bucks,
the
and
week
what did the
before,
Bucks do to the Saints? Just fine.
well, 23-3. I mean, it wasn't the most crazy thing we've ever seen, but yeah,
Right,
I
but they
mean,
would have scored more if they had to.
maybe. Yeah. I'm not suggesting the Saints are going to win here. I think the
Yeah.
Saints could make some noise,
Eh,
maybe. And, there's no tape on Shuck, right? I'm not saying he's going to be good, but this could be like a new quarterback. We might be in trouble for the first quarter or something.
The Rams could start Jarquez Hunter and still run for 100 yards against the Saints.
What they should do is start him and Jimmy Garoppolo. That could be
Yeah,
your
honestly,
backfield.
just to flex how easy of a win the Saints are. And I would still pick the Rams. They would still be the favorites.
Yeah. All right. Next up, is this Sunday Night Football? It is Sunday Night Football. Man, the Commanders have had quite a few primetime games this season, I've noticed. What is that, 3 now out of 8 weeks? Oh,
Yeah,
9 weeks?
I feel like the Seahawks have been up there a lot too. The Eagles, the Giants have been up there a
The
couple
Chiefs have had
times.
like
A
5 already.
ton. Yeah, the Chiefs have only fucking played on prime time.
Even when they don't, it's America's game of the week.
Well, and it's even shittier for me because it's like I never get to see my team ever. And so when I get the fucking local regional team on primetime every week, it is extremely obnoxious. I hate it.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Friday night primetime, week 1 against the Chargers. America's game of the week 2 against the Eagles, which is not prime time, but it's America's game of the week. Anybody that's watching an afternoon football game is having that on their screen on Fox.
Mhm.
Week 3 against the Giants, prime time game. Week 4 against the Ravens, America's game of the week, 1:25 p.m. Week 5 against the Jaguars, prime
Prime
time game, Monday
time.
Night Football. Week 6 against the Lions, prime time Sunday Night Football. Week 7 against the Raiders, normal Sunday morning.
Right.
Week 8 against the Commanders, prime time Monday Night Football. Week 9 this week against the Bills, America's game of the week. Virtually, they have played primetime football 8 out of 9 weeks so far this year. uh,
Fuck the Chiefs, man.
so
I hate this
I
game so
said five. I
much.
said 5 initially, and that's actually accurate. But then you factor in the America's game of the week, and it's been 8.
Right,
All
and
right,
we're in week 9. We're
9.
going into week 9.
Yeah. Well,
Seahawks to upset the commies. Or not
is
upset,
it
but
an
Seahawks to
upset?
go in there and take care of business against the commies. I don't know why I said upset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely think
definitely
so.
Seahawks.
one of the best teams in the NFL right now, coming off a bye, getting a little bit healthier in the secondary, which will help them. They could generate some really solid pass rush, I think, in this game. And look, the Commanders have not been able to get the run game going like consistently this season.
Mm.
So this could be a game where you could maybe get something going in that regard, but I don't expect them to even try, really.
So I don't think I've ever picked the Cowboys to beat the Cardinals in any of their games that they've played. I'm pretty sure I've only picked the Cardinals, and it never fucking works out for me. So I'm going with the Cowboys at home here.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you something.
And it's the
If
Cardinals
Jacoby
off the
Brissett if Jacoby Brissett is the starting quarterback this week, I am taking the Arizona Cardinals. If it is Kyler Murray, I am taking the Dallas Cowboys. that is, and it's crazy to be saying this in 2025 as someone who was like, Jacoby Brissett is terrible. Why are you starting them week 1 last season for the Patriots when you have Drake May on your team and you just drafted him? But here we are. I am literally saying this in 2025.
It's
Jacoby
also a
Brissett
difference of
starts.
scheme. I mean, the Patriots had fucking who as their offensive coordinator last season?
No, it is different. I don't mean to say that these are exactly the same. It's just funny that this is where we're at right now with
It's
the
also just funny
Cardinals
that
and with
the
Brissett.
Cardinals hired a heavy play action offensive coordinator for Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then your top 2 running backs go down with injury. That doesn't help either. But
No. Yeah, definitely
you
been
can,
an injury riddled offense, but the defense looks solid.
yeah, defense is okay. I genuinely think the difference is the quarterback here. And if Kyler Murray plays, I don't have the confidence in the offense to put up enough points to keep up with the Cowboys, who, outside of last week against the Broncos, have pretty much done whatever they want.
Right. Yeah. Outside of last week against the Broncos. Yeah, I don't think the Cardinals have a defense that is quite Broncos-ly. So I think the Cowboys will be able to score enough points to win this game.
All right. Those are our picks. Yeah, should be a
You
fun
gonna
week.
do
There are a
the rapid
couple
fire,
good
get
matchups.
all of our picks in one short real quick?
Sure. So I'll say the team, or I'll say the matchup, and then I'll say my team, and then you can go right after.
Absolutely.
Thursday night football, Ravens at Dolphins. I have the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
Sunday morning football, Broncos at the Texans. I've got the Broncos.
Yeah, this is a Broncos win written all over it.
Right after that, the LA Chargers at the Tennessee Titans. Give me the Chargers in this one.
Give me the Chargers and dominant blowout.
Right after that, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking the Colts. They can impose their will on offense.
Give me the Colts.
Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars off the bye against the Las Vegas Raiders off the bye. I've got the Jaguars in a nice bounce back win.
Jags.
All right. Then America's Game of the Week, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. I'm taking the Chiefs potentially only because of the refs, but 50-50 game.
Give me the Bills. Fuck you, KC.
Next up, the Chicago Bears at the Cincinnati Bengals. I've got the Bengals. I think the matchup with the secondary of Chicago favors the Bengals.
Yeah, I gotta take the Bears here. Just the Bears.
All right. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons at the New England Patriots. I've got the Patriots. It's got Patriots win written all over it.
Drake May is my daddy.
Okay. Next up, the Carolina Panthers at the Green Bay Packers. Could be a fun one, could be a surprising one, but I've got Green Bay.
I'm riding with the Panthers.
Next up, the Minnesota Vikings against the Detroit Lions, who are off the bye. Give me the Lions by 40.
Stop pounding.
Next up, the San Francisco 49ers on the road against the New York Giants. I've got the Niners in a bounce back win.
Give me the Giants. Jackson Dart is him.
Next up, the New Orleans Saints against the LA Rams, who are coming off a bye. I've got the Rams by at least 2 scores.
I got the Saints helping their draft stock. Give me the Rams.
Next up, the Seattle Seahawks coming off a bye against the Washington Commanders on Sunday Night Football. I've got the Seattle Seahawks to take care of business.
Give me the Seahawks.
And last but not least, maybe least, the Arizona Cardinals
Yeah,
coming off a
maybe.
bye against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. If Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback, give me the Cardinals. If it's Kyler Murray, give me the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys either way, but who is watching that game anyways?
All right, those are our rapid fire.
Those are our rapid fire picks for week 9. All right, you want to give our coastal call or should I?
No, you go ahead.
All right, going to go ahead and thank everybody. You know, we got a pretty, I think, concise episode here. We felt pretty focused. You know, I want to just thank everyone for making it this far, even though it is on the shorter side. We just wanted to say, okay, I need to cut this shit because I am fucking not speaking right. I'm sorry. Okay. Timestamp hour 31. Okay. Coastal call 3, 2. I just want to thank everybody so much for making it this far into the episode. All the watch time and engagement has been so much fun over the past few weeks. I know Broncos fans, they need to chill out a bit, but we do enjoy you guys engaging with us, and we hope that you can at least acknowledge that we think you do beat the Texans at least. But yeah, leave a like, comment down below if you have any disagreements with our picks. We love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on our takes. So thank you, everybody. This has been Coast Knows Ball. Peace.
See you guys.